I had a really profound download the other day that changed my perspective on this topic as a whole. Not only this topic, but also so many other areas that this could also affect because of how we think or how we are almost forced into thinking. And basically it was all from me driving past a school during morning drop off. That's how it started. So today I'm actually going to share with you something really personal, very vulnerable and honest, not anti-motherhood in any way, shape or form, but deeply reflective about my own identity, alignment and choice. If you are new to this podcast, my name is Rebecca Harrison, and this is the You Deserve Better podcast, where we talk all things self-love, transformation. We get real vulnerable, we get real honest. We talk about the things that often get ignored out there because we get deep. We get deep, raw and honest, straight on, straight up. None of this surface level conversations. This is where it's at. In this episode today, I really want to cover the difference between being broody and a true motherhood desire. I want to talk about societal expectations and the impact that they have upon our decision making and life choices. I want to talk about, of course, self-love. It's always got to be in there. Self-love and identity disconnection, because that plays a big part in, again, our choices and decisions. Choosing your own path. And finally, most importantly, why not wanting children can actually be deeply selfless. It's selfless, not selfish. This is going to be an interesting topic, and that's why I stated in the beginning about it being not anti-motherhood. This isn't taking sides as to which decision we are meant to make in life, but this is very much my personal reflection and a download, light bulb moment, epiphany, whatever you want to call it, that I had this week that really made me question everything. And I feel that there'll be a lot of other women in my place because it's something that is not spoken about. I was going to say enough, but I just don't think it's spoken about at all, or at least in the way in which I'm going to today. But it's not taking sides, it's nothing like that. It's literally just having a really honest discussion, and I really hope that it will be beneficial, whether you are a mother or not, whether it's something that you are questioning, whether you feel like you're behind in life because you're not a mum yet and you desire to be, whether you're trying for a baby and it's taking longer than you'd expected. This is for anyone and everyone, male, female, what have you. I hope you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. So I'm gonna set the scene first, and I was actually on my way to the gym on this particular morning, and I was driving past a school on my estate, and the school is on the road. Like, you have to go past the road where everyone's doing the drop-offs and lollipop ladies there and everything. And it's, for me, chaos, carnage. There's cars everywhere, there's kids everywhere, there's people I think it was a Monday morning, everyone looks stressed and miserable. Again, this is my perspective. It was a drab, dreary, rainy day, and I was just driving past and everyone's struggling to get through the road because it's so busy, everyone's dropping off and things like that. So yeah, I just saw all these parents rushing around and kids everywhere, and I just honestly, as I was sat there looking at everyone, I just thought to myself, I could not do this every day. Like, this is just not the life for me. And as I said it kind of shocked me, the realization of how true that whole comment felt within me, this wave of clarity, as though, I'm just sat there and thinking, wow, where did that come from? And as I further delved deeper and explored this reflection of mine, I was thinking to myself, I don't want this. I don't want this rush of life, this stress. I don't want the stress of the school run. I don't want those battles of homework every night. I don't want the teenage years as I'm coming home and giving you attitude and going out drinking on the weekends, whatever they get up to these days. I don't want the adult that no longer needs you and moves away. but is still a huge responsibility for you. And it really just dropped in deep. I don't want that. At this point in time, me saying this, I don't feel like I would ever want that. Now, again, as I have brought up in previous episodes, and I will say in this episode as well, there is a part of me that is extremely maternal and would love to be a mum. And I'm going to delve into that a little bit more about my past and how I was really, we was trying for a baby. There may be a time in the future that this changes, but as it stands right here, right now, I don't want that. I do not want that. And I think the reason why I'm sharing this with you all, because a lot of women out there have never said these kind of things out loud, or even to themselves, because it's just not something that you say. It's just not something that we openly discuss in that way. So that was the experience that I had. That was how it all played out, and the thoughts and feelings that were going on in my mind. And then again, as I kept exploring it further, I was thinking about the times that I wanted a baby, and I so really did. And these are the epiphanies that just kept on coming to me. And of course, wanting a baby is often about wanting closeness and newness and bonding, softness. It's a craving within that we're seeking, okay? And these still are things that I do seek. I want that bond and being soft and, someone or something to need and want me to such a great depth. Then there's obviously, wanting a child. And that is the full lifelong responsibility. They're not a baby anymore. They're not all cute and cuddly. And all the cute baby clothes and those adorable little slippers. Now they're a child. It's a full lifelong responsibility. Okay, then it's thinking, okay, what about a teenager? And that is a heck of a lot of emotional labour, stress, conflict, boundaries, instilling all of those. And I have been around many men and women who have spoken about their teenagers and the stress that they have and the sleepless nights, and just when they come into work and it's awful. I feel sorry for them. And also, I was a teenager once and I was hard work, okay? My mum, did she really sign up for that when she had a baby? I don't know. But of course, it's a cycle of life. And then, of course, there's wanting an adult human child. And with that, there comes a lot of sacrifice, letting them go and go off and doing their own things, maybe have completely different opinions and values. They're yours, but they're not yours, are they? They're a human in their own right. And with that, it's a heck of a lot of sacrifice and everything that you've put into them for them to just off they go. But with that, there's still that lifelong support that's ingrained within you, I imagine. So for me, when I think about all of this, I'm thinking to myself, was I wanting a baby, or did I actually truly want motherhood? The whole kit and caboodle, the whole package. And I think I wanted a baby. Well, I don't think it, I know that. I wanted a baby. I was broody for a little newborn. And that's the difference. That is the difference. I suppose as women as well, there is that hormonal broodiness. So our hormones, they're in these cycles, and our cycles are brought to us, of course, to create life, So we go through phases upon our cycles where we deeply desire intimacy and love and connection, because it's science within us is telling us it's time to get pregnant now, okay? It's time to create life. It's time to have a baby. So there's that. There's also the that maternal nature, which I definitely do. I have a very maternal nature for other people. I care. I'm so compassionate. I'm emotionally empathetic. I want to look after other people. But then does that mean that motherhood is specifically your path? Or can you be maternal but not be a mother? There's so many different concepts to this. There's even the whole how motherhood is often romanticized, isn't it? And how I saw it even. I was thinking of all the, the feeds, the nappy changes, the first baths, and all the cute little clothes. And I think the idea of motherhood is romanticized. You'll see these beautiful pregnancy shoots and newborn shoots and the whole beautiful family photos, and it looks amazing. Yeah, mums are admired and adored. It's romanticized, which I think ties it in with the whole with the cuteness fantasy versus the reality. So I know, for example, we're coming up to Christmas season now, so I know my social media is going to be rammed soon full of all these beautiful photos of happy families smiling with Santa and matching PJs and the do they still do Elf on the Shelf? I don't know, but the reindeer dust and the carrot and mince pie on Christmas Eve and all these beautiful little traditions that make me think, oh my gosh, how incredible, how magical, I want that. Am I missing out? But then deep down, I know the reality behind a lot of these curated photos. It's been a stressful day. There's a load of other kids that are around that are crying. They're not playing ball. They won't sit still for the photo. They've been a nightmare all day, and you're telling them, look, Santa's watching. If you're not good, you won't get no presents. I know the reality behind a lot of that. So there is that whole cuteness, the fantasy of being a mum, of having a child, and the actual reality of it. And then last but not least, of course, is that societal pressure. Yeah? Which I think is actually disguised as an instinct, because it's almost as though if you're not following this societal expectation of getting married and having a baby, and people are asking you, or it's on your TV, it's on your social media, everyone your age has had children now, what about me, what's going on, am I missing out? So it's actually a pressure, isn't it, that's disguised as an instinct, because you do start questioning naturally with that. Like I just mentioned, I've been questioning, oh, I'm missing out, am I missing out, oh, how amazing is that? Look at them. What about me? I'm just being left behind. Am I going to die alone? No children. Am I missing out? They say there's no other love like it. Literally, I could reel it all off. And that's, I guess, where I have got to tie it all back with this brand. The whole theme of you deserve better, and this mission and movement, and that is very much about self-love, empowerment, identity. Of course I deal with the relationship breakdowns, but it's all tied into that identity, the conditioning, the societal pressures, and actually deeply connecting to ourselves. So I feel that often as we go about life, even from being a child, women are conditioned to want children. We have little dollies. I had loads of little dollies. I used to feed them and bottle feed them and walk them in the prams and all that. You're conditioned to want children right from the get-go. And that only intensifies the older that you get. Of course, when you meet someone and then next thing, oh, you're going to have children. And then when you get to my age and they start saying, oh, what is it, milk's running dry or whatever, or you've not got long left, and which is actual bullshit, by the way. But still, we're conditioned. Like, can you see how all of this is conditioning? It's what we're surrounded by. It's what we see every day, day in, day out. And it's what is almost expected of us. There is an expectation that you'll want them one day. I've seen a couple of videos more recently of older women who have chosen to not have children, and the amount of hate that they get in the comments. You're going to be lonely in your 50s if you don't have any, or you'll never experience the true love if you don't have a child. It's like, oh, you'll regret it when you're old and you can't, and you wish that you'd have made that decision. We often shame women who don't choose to have children. But then that's the thing, isn't it? How many of the choices do we make, regardless of what they are? How many choices do we make from a place of should rather than our soul and its true calling and desire, what we really want deep, deep, deep down within? So going back to, again, the topic of breakups, for example, often a trauma for example, heartbreak, fear of abandonment, any difficult situation where you're longing for love and connection, that alone can create a longing for a baby. As a relationship dynamic especially, how many couples, for example, have a baby because they think it'll help their relationship? How many do that? And of course it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's the worst thing that you could actually do. If your relationship's struggling, why would you want to bring another human being into the world? It's like an added stress, added pressure. Opposite of that, though, if there is a relationship breakdown and it is a woman or a man that is on their own, and there has been this trauma and these deep struggles and wounds within, it creates a longing for a baby. It's actually proof that someone will stay. Because again, you know, where I mentioned about that dependency and that need, they're totally dependent upon you, they need you. That's right there is the proof sometimes that someone will stay. And that alone, again, is an unhealthy reason to have a child, but you can understand how people get to that place. Everything here, from us being conditioned, that expectation, shaming women, how trauma can make you want a baby, or how a difficult relationship, you have a baby to try and make things work. It all is a place of being so disconnected from our intuition. It leads us to following a life script that isn't even ours, and we don't even question it. We don't even question it. We just follow the script. And this is the difference between making choices from a place of should rather than our soul calling, and when you're deeply connected to who you are and your soul's mission and purpose, that is your true calling. And what is that for you? So for example, for me, my soul was saying, heck no, this isn't for you. You wanted a baby. That's all you wanted. You wanted a baby. You're longing for closeness and connection, and for someone to need you. That's not a motherhood life path. That's being, yes, maternal, but can you see the difference? Some of this might be confusing. I'm going out like, I feel like I'm going back and forth a little bit, but it was just such a huge epiphany download that I feel that it's quite complex, isn't it? And it's hard to get different viewpoints and opinions in that all have similar impact, if that makes sense. And I think this is it, that people think choosing not to have kids is selfish. You know, going back to the influencers that, I wouldn't say they promote it, but they talk about how incredible their life is without having children, and all the comments you get, you're selfish, or who's going to look after you on your deathbed, like the child's going to necessarily be there. Like, you can't assume that that's what you're going to get, even if you have a child. But people think choosing to not have kids is selfish. But I believe, and this is what came to me, is how selfless is it to not bring a child into the world when you don't actually know if that's right for you. The true measure of love is knowing that actually you won't bring a child into the world unless you are ready to make it about them, not about you. And that is the difference. Having a child, it is all about them. It's not about you wanting to have a baby. As I'm voicing this, by the way, I'm very much talking to myself. So when I'm saying you, I'm talking to me. I don't want anyone thinking, fucking hell, Becky, like, how dare you speak to me in this way? But these are a lot of the thoughts and feelings that were coming to me in this moment, in this download, in this epiphany. But that is what it was saying to me, that actually that is the most loving and selfless thing that you can actually do, is that you don't bring a child into the world unless you are ready to make it all about them, not about you. If you can't fully commit, be present, fully give, the most loving thing, the most loving choice is to not do it, surely. Because parenting, it's not about the parent's needs, is it? It's never about the parent. Babies grow, but they need you forever. And motherhood is this lifelong service. It's not just this cute little phase, is it? which I think for me is maybe what I wanted. I wanted the phase. And again, this is not how I felt at the time, by the way. This is me reflecting back and seeing things from this altered perspective, this almost like this higher self, this higher state of consciousness, that for me, choosing not to have children because you know that you cannot give a child everything is one of the most selfless acts that you can make. Right now, I cannot give a child everything. I'm not even talking materialistically here. I'm talking emotionally. I have life plans and goals. I have a mission here, and it doesn't revolve a child. So how selfish of me would it be to think, oh my gosh, I'm 35, I need to have a baby. The milk's running dry. I'm running out of time. I'm doing it for me. Not because I want to bring life into the world. I'm doing it out of pressure. Which, by the way, as I've said countless times, actually I've got more than enough time should I wish to in years to come. But I don't know, the older I get, the more I realise I don't think I do want children. And this is a lot of reflection and shadow work talking here, because if you'd have asked me a few years ago, or even on a surface level chat, I would say, yeah, I'm open to children. I'm open to children. But then when I really get deep, dark and honest and truthful with myself, it doesn't sound like that's the case actually, does it? Tying this back to, again, my brand, because I'm really conscious that we're talking about something very different here. Many people want babies to fix a relationship. Many people want babies to feel loved, or because they fear being alone, or because they think it is what they are supposed to do. They don't want to feel behind. Or some, it may be if they're in a relationship, then maybe they're scared that their partner will leave if they don't. Is this the foundation for a healthy family? Are any of those things that I've just listed the foundation for a healthy family? I would say absolutely not. True self-love, and this is why I often say self-love is hard. It is not having bubble baths and getting your nails done and treating yourself to that glass of Prosecco at the weekend. It's none of that. It's a tiny fraction of it. But true self-love is so freaking hard, because it is having these deep, dark discussions with yourself and light bulb moments and the shadows inside that don't necessarily want to come out to be seen and heard. And that's just the way it is. But what self-love is it's choosing the path that aligns with who you are, not who you're expected to be. And I think 9 times out of 10, a lot of us are living our lives through these expectations, whether we admit to it or not. We are being brainwashed every single day. I think I've done an episode about brainwashing and how every single thing that we're consuming is creating our reality. And that's why you actually have to disconnect from so much of that to actually find out who you even are deep down within, away from the noise and everything that's going on out there to make us who we are. For example, to be typical 9 to 5 and go to work and come home and watch Netflix and follow the rules and, go and have your 2.4 children or whatever they say, picket fence, it's that. And as we know, I spoke before, I don't seem to go against those standards very much. I don't want to be an employee. I don't want to live I don't want to live a normal life. I know that I'm meant for different. I don't want to say better for me, but it's not better, but it's different. And maybe for me that doesn't involve children. I'm just saying, I feel so deeply connected and so full of love for myself that this is how I was able to get this epiphany and this download, that I'm actually following a path that aligns with me, not what is wanted from me. An important thing to think about, actually, how I mentioned before about you can be maternal. You can have that maternal nature within you without motherhood being the path. And that's very much how I feel. I am so maternal. I'm so nurturing and loving and compassionate. But Does that mean that motherhood is part of my path? Or could it be why I'm on the path of coaching and community, mentorship, and bringing people together and creating this whole movement? I am using my maternal nurturing roots within, but for a different mission and life purpose. You can also choose a different timeline. Maybe motherhood isn't on my timeline now. Maybe I'll be an older mum, who knows? I can still change my mind later. Nothing is fixed, or at least for the foreseeable future, nothing is fixed. But for me right now, my life purpose is not automatically motherhood. All women that are listening to this now, if you don't have children and you question it, your life purpose isn't necessarily motherhood. You are not brought into this world to simply to have a child and then die. There's so much more to life than that. Your worth is not tied to your ability to have or raise children. So at this point in the episode, I'd love to invite you to just really reflect on a couple of these things. And maybe some of what I've said, it could have been triggering, or you could completely disagree, or some of it could have really hit home for you, or these are reflections that you've already had with yourself, so it's just nice to hear it from another woman. Whatever thoughts, feelings, emotions have come up for you are totally right for you, but I'd love for you to reflect on those, and what desires are truly yours. What desires are truly yours, or what have you just absorbed? Yeah? So really get deep and honest with yourself here. Maybe pick up a pen and paper or meditate on some of these, but really look in deep within now of like all the desires you've got, whatever they are. It doesn't have to be about children. It can be about anything at all. Are they truly yours, or are they simply just what you've absorbed? For example, for me, I at one time very much wanted to be this digital nomad living in Bali, and of course I did go off and do that, but that was actually because I saw other people doing it and I thought it looked really cool and amazing. And of course, don't get me wrong, I did it and I'm glad that I did, but I think as we know, that isn't now my life path. My desire was actually what I'd absorbed from someone else that I thought would make me so happy. And the reality was different. That desire wasn't even mine. And again, reflect on whether right now, how you are living in your day-to-day life and your goals and things, and are you living in alignment or expectation? Are you going to university and studying something because it's aligned for you, or is it an expectation from your family? Are you in a relationship because that person is aligned with you, or is it an expectation from your family, your friends, or social media telling you that you should be with someone by now? Are you having a baby? Are you creating life because it is aligned for you, or an expectation? Are you hitting all those milestones in your career, your business, hitting all these incredible goals because it's aligned to you, or an expectation? So with that, what choices would you make if no one was judging you? This is the one that tells me a lot when I really question in on it and get really, really honest with myself, is what choices would you make if no one judged them? So if no one was judging you, if no one knew what you was up to and what you was getting on with and was working on, or what passions you had and things that you wanted to pursue, what would you do? No one's judging you. You're free to do as you please. What would you be doing? Going back to the motherhood, because this is the theme of this episode, but what version of motherhood, if any, do you truly want? Are you like me and you're broody for a little baby, and the maternity leave and the cute mum's dates? Or do you want the whole package? Do you see them well off into their adulthood, and this is what you know that you are here for, to bring life into this world and create a human being that goes on to live their own incredible independent life? It's a really deep and also quite controversial topic of discussion, this. And even with some of the things that I've said, I've brought up emotion within myself and feelings, and even at some points with the things that I'm saying, I've been tense, and I'm even cautious as to how people are responding that are listening to me, and whether you are feeling triggered. And I don't, and this is why I want to reiterate that our life's choices are completely unique to us. So I value whatever choices that people make, because they are perfect for them, as long as they are fully aligned and they have made that decision from themselves. But regardless, every single person's life path that they're on, the experience that they're having right now, I truly, truly value and respect. Okay. So going back to mothers, I honour mothers. I think those of you who are mums out there, all the mothers out there, I bow down to you, honestly, because that is not an easy feat. That is not an easy feat. And I honour mothers, because that is, as you've heard me say, something that I don't think I can do. Something that I don't feel that I am open to doing. Something that I don't feel is within me. So those that are, honestly, hats off to you. And equally, I honour the women who don't want children. I honour those women for making that choice for themselves, who have decided that children are not part of their life path. I honour the women who can't have children but have a deep desire to, but they can't. What I'm getting at is both choices are so powerful. They are powerful. And this is it. The real win is actually choosing from self-awareness. It's not pressure. Both choices are powerful when they have been made from true self-awareness, and not the pressure to conform with either side. We're actually breaking these generational cycles by choosing consciously. Because every single human being that is brought into this world should be brought into this world for a reason, and should be given the best start in life. And when we are choosing so consciously to bring life into the world, it is all about them. So can you imagine the people that are making those decisions to have children, and the kind of humans that they are going to create? Wow. Yeah. That is where you get this whole new earth that they talk about, new earth, the raised frequencies, this complete world awakening. That's where you get it, because people are consciously choosing to bring that life into the world and make it all about them. And for those of us that choose not to, we're on different paths, and we're part of the awakening ourselves with the work and the mission that we are doing. Kind of got a little bit spiritual there at the end, but yeah, I hope this episode's landed. I am conscious again that this is a tricky subject for some. Please feel free to reach out to me in the DMs. I am always open and willing to chat. If you have been affected by anything that I've spoken about, again, reach out to me. I would love to have an honest conversation with you. And I am here for every single one of you. If it's made you question things, I'm here. Let's chat. Let's hash it out together. Okay. But I hope that you loved today's episode. I really, really hope you did. It came truly from the heart. It really did. And it was kind of a tricky one for me to do, to be honest, but I felt that I had to, because I feel like it's such a powerful one. And it's powerful for me to be vulnerable and for you to feel that in my energy, and I hope that you did. But if you did love this episode, please share it with a friend, share it on your stories. Give it some love, follow along. Be sure to give me a rating and review, whether you are on Spotify or on YouTube. Give it a like, subscribe. I'd love to have you along this journey. A little bit off topic than normal, but I believe it all relates, because it all boils down to you deserve better. You know, that's the overall brand and those 3 pillars that we discussed at the very beginning. If you don't already follow me on Instagram, I am at You Deserve Better Podcast. It'd be lovely to have you follow along and be part of this community and whole movement. Thank you again so much for listening. If you have any feedback or any recommendations for future episodes, also feel free to drop them in the comments or in a message for me, because I love to take your opinions on board. They guide me through how to show up best for you, whether it be in my podcast, my content, and the coaching containers and services that I offer. So always express your opinion, your feedback. It truly, truly matters. I love you all so much. Thank you for being here as always, and I'll see you on the next episode.